We're here today at MBA's Empowering You Summit, where we just heard from Dr. Tracey Wilen about digital disruption. Tracey's going to share some of her actionable items so that we can stay relevant in this digital world today. Hi, Tracey.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for a fabulous session. So let's get into some questions. What advice do you have for thriving amid work demands and chaos?
Yeah, so this is a good question because I was asked this from a young person who was very challenged and quite stressed over the world events and local events and the news. And on top of it, she just said, work used to be predictable and it's not anymore. There's layoffs. I don't know if AI is going to take my job. I don't know what day-to-day is going to happen. So for leaders here, I recommend that you create the predictability for your teams, whether it's structuring, regular meetings on Mondays and Fridays, or some sort of routine so that people feel like when they go to work, it's predictable. Number two is practice calm. People who work for you don't want to see you anxious or upset. So remember to practice calm and, leave the room if you have an anxiety attack, but, it's really important. For the individual, realize that things are out of your control. So you really need to think about what is in my control and focus on that. Two things that I used to do when I got a little stressed at work is I would either create a happy goal, which was, okay, if I get through this month, I'm going to take myself a spa day, right? So I had something to look forward to feel good about. On the flip side, I would also distract myself. I went through a period of time where I said, I'm going to take classes. I'm going to take an MBA at night because that's going to distract me from what's happening at work. And it was very effective because I was focused a lot on that MBA and how it could make work better.
Yeah, and sometimes that's when things come to
Yes.
you. I've noticed that too. What advice would you give a leader regarding AI?
Use it. Number one, you got to use it. You got to get your hands dirty with AI and any technology and don't delegate it. And number two is you really need to include the team and make sure that you're practicing and using it and sharing where the value is or where the value isn't. I think it's important that people realize the technology is here to stay. And then how can we use it and really integrate it into the workflow as a valuable assistant?
Mm-hmm. How about career advice you have for emerging leaders?
So I think, and what I mentioned during the speech, and I really think it's important, is you need to view your job as a CEO, which means is I need to really be responsible for this job, not do it like a robot, but rather groom myself to say, okay, what do I need to know about this job? What skills do I need to develop? What other qualities or content or classes do I need to take so that I can actually take ownership of this job and build it into its next step? Because if jobs look the same a year from now, they haven't grown, which means the company isn't going to grow. So we really want to see people take their jobs and move them forward so that we can grow together.
So we're here at the Empowering You Summit. Are women innovative leaders?
Well, I think so. I mentioned a study. It's been a few years since I did the study, but it was profound findings at the time. It was the boomers, Generation X, Generation Y, and a couple of working Zs in the workforce. And we had all these questions about leadership. And overwhelmingly, our Generation X, Y, and Z preferred women leaders in leadership roles. And at that time, right, most of the leaders were boomer men, and they had that command control military type of style, which really was not popular and is still not popular today because young people are really looking for what women were offering and still offer. They listen, they communicate, they include, they innovate. You can fail and you can learn from your mistakes. They're creative. They can do so many more things and think out of the box. And that's why we found that the younger generations and current generations really prefer women leadership. So yes, I do think women are innovative.
Well, I agree. I agree with you. And thank you so much for being here and participating in the summit today.
Thank you.